Okay, so this is 7.5 part 2. We're just going to pick up where we left off. Now we are dealing with similar triangles and seeing that relationship in the perimeter and area. So if our triangles are similar and they have a similarity ratio of 1/2, their perimeters are going to have that same ratio of 1/2. So if their similarity ratio is 1/2, then their perimeter ratio will also be 1/2. And their area ratio will be the same thing, but squared. So it'll be that 1/2 squared. So similarity and perimeter ratio are going to be the same. In area, we just square the ratio. So if the similarity ratio of two similar triangles is A over B, then the ratio of their perimeters is going to be the same, A over B, and the ratio of their areas is A squared over B squared, or A over B squared. We're going to do some examples. So given that triangle LMN is similar to triangle QRT, find the perimeter P and area A of triangle QRS. So it gives us the perimeter and area for triangle LMN, and it gives us a side. So what would the similarity ratio between the two triangles be? If side LM corresponds to QR, then what would our ratio be? (13 over 9.1). Same thing. So this is our ratio. So in order to find the perimeter, we're just going to use that ratio to find the perimeter of triangle QRT, or QRS, it should be. Okay, so our perimeter of the big triangle is 36 centimeters. So is that going to go on the top or on the bottom? On the top. So since 13 corresponds with the big triangle, the top here has to correspond with the big triangle also. So that 36 will go on top. And then what's going to go on the bottom? X, or we could just say P, since we're trying to find the perimeter. Now how do we solve for P? Cross multiply. So we get 13P is equal to 9.1 times 36 divided by 13. 25.2. 25.2 what? Centimeters. Like it tells us the perimeter is measured in centimeters, so it'll be centimeters. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing to find the area, but what's going to change about our ratio? We square it to find the area. So we do 13 over 9.1 squared. So when we're finding the area, we have to square our ratio. But we leave the right side the same. Is the 60 going to go on the top or the bottom? The top. Because again, 13 corresponds with the big triangle. So 60 has to correspond with the big triangle. Bless you. What's going to go on the bottom? A, because that's what we're trying to find. So when squaring 13 over 9.1, we have to square both the top and the bottom. So 13 squared is 169. And what's 9.1 squared? 82.81. And then we're going to have that's equal to 60 over A. And so how do we solve for A now? Cross multiply. So you get 169A is equal to 60 times 82.81. A is equal to 29.4 what? Centimeters. So our area is centimeters squared. All right, this example is asking us to do the same thing. So we have triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. BC is 4 millimeters, EF is 12 millimeters. The perimeter is equal to 42 and the area is equal to 96 millimeters squared for triangle DEF. Find the perimeter and area of triangle ABC. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the perimeter. And then we're going to find the area. So what's our ratio that we can use? 12 over 4. So this 12 is coming from triangle DEF, right? Because EF is 12. So we have to keep DEF on top here. So the perimeter of DEF is 42. And then what goes on the bottom? P. So now how do we solve for P? We can cross multiply or we could simplify this to make our numbers a little bit smaller. So how do we simplify 12 over 4? 3 over 1. And that's equal to 42 over P. And now what do? Cross multiply. So we get 3P is equal to 42. And what did you guys get for P?
I got
14. 14 what?
millimeters.
Millimeters. Now we need to do the same thing for area, except what's the difference here? We have to square our ratio. So our ratio was 12 over 4, so we do 12 over 4 squared is equal to what?
96 over 8.
96 over A. Perfect. Now we could do 12 squared and 4 squared and have 144 over 16. Or we could simplify the inside here first and then square it. So what do you think would be easier to do? Simplify and then square. So how do we simplify 12 over 4? 3 over 1, we just did that. And then we do 3 over 1 squared. So we do 3 squared and 1 squared. So we get 9 over 1 is equal to 96 over A. And how do we solve for A? Cross multiply. So we get 9A is equal to 96. What did you guys get for A?
$10.6
10.6 repeating.
Why did you put 10.6? Would you just put 10.6?
You could. Doesn't matter. Or you could put 10.7.
The 7. I mean, I guess.
So 10.6 what? Millimeters what?
Squared.
Squared. Remember, area is squared. So here it gives us millimeters squared. So our answer has to be millimeters squared. Any questions on this one? All right, so now we're going to do a couple questions that review part. So Maria is 4 feet 2 inches tall. To find the height of a flagpole, she measured her shadow and the pole shadow. What is the height h of the flagpole? What's the first thing we need to do here? Convert to inches. So how do we change 4 feet 2 inches to inches?
You multiply by 12.
Multiply what by 12?
4.
The 4.
And you'd add
And then we add the 2. So what's 12 times 4?
48.
48 plus 2, and we get 50 inches. And then for AC, what do we do to convert it to inches? Multiply by 12. So we get 50 inches and 40 inches. And then let's convert our 20 feet to inches also. So we get 240 inches. Okay, so now what do we need to do to find h? Make a ratio. So what's our ratio going to be? Perfect. 240 over 40 is equal to h over 50. So since h came from the big triangle and it's on top, 240 has to be on top also. And it can be simplified. 6 over 1. So we simplified 240 over 40 to 6 over 1, and we're going to multiply, and that's going to be equal to h over 50. And now how do we solve for h? Cross multiply. So it's 6 times 50. 300. And h times 1? H. So the height of the flagpole is what? 300 inches. Perfect. You could change it back to feet, but it would just be more work. How did we change it to inches? So then we would do the reverse, and we would divide by 12. So if the question was asking for feet, like how many feet was the flagpole, then we would have to divide it by 12. But here it's not specific, so we can just leave it. Okay, number 2. A blueprint for Letitia's bedroom uses a scale 1 inch to 4 feet. Her bedroom on the blueprint is 3 inches long. How long is the actual room?
So I put 1 inch, and I converted the 4 feet to inches, so I put 1 to 48.
So remember, for the scale drawings, we don't even need to convert it, so we can just leave it. So we can have 1 inch over 4 feet, and that needs to be equal to inches over feet. So it tells us that the blueprint is 3 inches long. Is that going to go on the top or on the bottom? The inch is on the top. And what can go on the bottom? X. Because that's what we're trying to find. So now how do we solve for x? Cross multiply. So we get x is equal to 12 what? 12 feet. So look, since feet here, since x was in front of feet, the answer has to be feet. Any questions on these? Nope. Ready for the next?
Yes.
Last one. Yay. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. Find the perimeter and area of triangle ABC. So this is what we learned today. What do we do first? Make a ratio. What's our ratio going to be? 6.5 over 13 is equal to 50. So since 65 came from the smaller triangle, so we do P over 54, because both the 13 and the 54 are talking about the triangle to the right, DEF. So we need to keep those on the bottom. Now can we simplify 6.5 over 13? 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 is equal to P over 54. Sandeep, what do we do from here? Cross multiply. So we get 54 is equal to 2P. What do we do next? Divide by 2. So what do we get for P? 54 divided by 2? 27. 27 what?
Inches.
Inches. Are we done? No, what do we need to find next? The area. So what do we need to do to find the area? Same ratio, but we square it. So we have 6 over 13 squared is equal to A over 126. Perfect. Now we could do 6.5 squared and 13 squared, or what could we do before that? Simplify. So we're just going to simplify the inside, and we get 1/2. And then we need to do 1/2 squared, which is 1 over 4. So remember, when the whole parenthesis is squared, it's like saying squared the top and squared the bottom. So 1 squared is 1, and 2 squared is 4. So 1/4 is equal to A over 126. Sandeep, what do we do from here?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply. So we get 126 is equal to 4A. What do we do next? Divide by 4. So what do we get for A?
I'm gonna check that right.
32,
31.5.
31.5. 31.5 what? Inches squared. Perfect. Alright, so this was the second half of 7.5. Any questions?